Hi folks, I'm back with another video. It's all about tech, but not a tech. It's all about cash flows, people, and what's the impact of GST on the present day's world. Trust me, GST didn't have anything to do with the economy, but people's mindset had a lot. जीएसटी का मतलब पता है ना, लाइक गुड्स एंड सर्विस टैक्सेस, इंडिया में फर्स्ट टाइम 2017 में लाइक डिमोनेटाइजेशन हुआ और उसके बाद जीएसटी भी ऐड हुआ. लाइक क्या उखाड़ लिया हमने. लाइक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी एन a political one. I will not be talking about any political party saying that ये कर लिया वो कर लिया. I'm just saying my views and my perspectives and my analysis on different papers which used to say there's a GST in this world and how it's going to impact the economy and things like that. So, GST, goods and service taxes. So, what? Everything that just flows in and out of the country has taxes. Inside the country, taxes. Everything and anything has taxes here. So, India में पहली बार हुआ, like 2016, 2017, there was lot of things. History के बारे में भी कुछ बात करते हैं, like who really gave this concept of GST, who was really keen on getting GST onto the world, which is India, what we call. History just begins with France. France pay, like they were the first who started off with the GST, and GST started blooming off and said that, hey, we have GST and we are improving. समझ के बात करो भाई. Like GST didn't happen just because there was a GST. Since France, Europe, all these countries had seen the industrial revolution, they know the value of time and they know the value of cash flows. So that's where cash flows comes into the picture. The title starts with cash flows, right? This is it. This is the reason why I am doing it. Like people spend money with respect. People don't spend money for the fake social status or anything. People really spend money for their happiness. That's why France or any other country which still has this GST is still working. But India is still a developing country. That's what other people say. I'm not saying it's still a developing country, it's still developing. But probably GST, if it had not been there, I think probably we would have seen something more. So this is what I am here to say. So let me just say the different GSTs, like this is the federal rates in which like top notch, like every top notch product will come into the picture. So I'll just say you what, history started off with the France and says that, hey, Singapore has 7% of it. Singapore literally has 7% GST. UK has 20%. Argentina has 27%. India, highest man, 28%. The highest GST which ever paid is through India only. Like nobody gives a damn about it, but India is number one and 28%. Like let me just go on to the other slide right here. Which country has the highest rate for the petrol? It's India. The country which has financial benefits and non-income taxes are like Bermuda, Bahamas, Monaco, UAE. Like these are the countries which are legit working on something new. You know how these countries work? These countries work as a company. Like a company की तरह बात करते हैं लोग. They don't settle for anything average. They don't settle for anything which is like, okay, I'm just going to settle for 10 rupees or 20 rupees. They just want that valuation to be proper and they deliver value also. So this is where countries make impact. Even though we have the highest rate on petrol, we are not yet the developed country in terms of any advancement in the technology. Why? It's because of the people's mindset. I'll say why. It's not the politicians who are ruling it, it's the people's mindset. GST aa gaye, like everything has a minimum of 18% taxes. Let me just say the scenario. Like, let me just say I'm going to start my own startup. Of course, I'll be starting my own. Like, if you are going to be somewhere like, okay, I'm going to buy some 10 computers right now, and I'm going to pay the tax with the profits that I'm going to get. See, somehow cash flow is the king. Cash is the king. You keep it stagnant, it loses its value. That means you're actually working on actually not deriving value from it, but you're keeping it stagnant and saying that, hey, my social status is good enough to be a billionaire. But किसी को भी घंटा भी नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा boss. If your cash is stagnant, nobody cares about it. You need to do cash flows. So that's where these countries come into the picture. UAE in 40, 50, 60 years, it saw a huge boom in the industry. Why? Because people saw that interest of actually doing something. You know, they have the skyscrapers, the biggest one, and basically, like, you can really think like, okay, the biggest amusement park is there in Dubai Mall is there. Like, all these countries are the best tourist spots, man. They don't tourists don't go inside any of these tourist spots just for the sake of it. They really go there to understand the value of what that country is all about. you know I don't go behind a person as a person. I go behind a person as a personality. Like, that's how I derive value. And India mein problem kya hai na, like, if somebody is a topper, we try to follow him, but andar kuch aur chalta hai. Like, they might be having some sort of an academic background which is good, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be successful in life. Learn to build the best of yourself. So cash flow is going to help you people. So let me just give you a brief intro on what is OECD and all. OECD and all is such an organization which really controls the regulation for the taxes. Like, these are the institutions which are there in countries like US and things like that, just flows in because these organizations impose some sort of a regulation. That means you can't bribe with these people saying that, hey, I'm going to bribe with you for 10 rupees or 20 rupees, just give me something. They do an actual cash flow. That means these organizations might be controlling it, but the country is deriving value from the money they have. They might have it printed out trillions of dollars. Trust me, it's not going to be that much of a matter. Probably they're going to bounce back another probably 10 years. If India had tried to do that, and India has tried to do that somehow or the other, if we had really had tried to print out such amount of huge amount of valuation of money and try to get something, I think probably we would have had messed up around and said that, hey, it's not working out here. So dreams started out with Vajpayee. You know, all these dreams of getting the GST and the country, like, it's really affecting. Like, these are the pioneers who really worked on it. Like, VAT was already there. Value added tax. Kya farak padta hai? Like, you were actually paying on it. Like, somehow, even though, like, I used to remember, we used to go to a sports guy and, like, we used to say, can I get a bill? And he used to say, like, I can give you a VAT bill. But that VAT used to be a corruption. But yeah, like, it's somehow we used to do the cash flow. Somehow we used to improve, man. But business ke liye, like, it's too big of a mess. It's too big of a mess. Let me just say you one thing. Value added tax is there in US everywhere, man. You go to Costco, you might be paying some value added tax to it, or else, like, purchase a plastic bag, you need to pay a tax for it, man. You can't really say that, hey, I'm going to just go out like just like that. Government is taking a lot of risk to even deliver you such product, so they need some value. So reason for me taking Sweden is, like, they are a little different. Like, they have lot and lot of restrictions on tax and everything, but they are making lot and lot of impact. So Sweden is different. If you really want Sweden fatafat like to do, like, just give me as much as likes as you can. I'll do a complete case study on Sweden. Like, I know that many people are thinking, like, why is he holding a board or something like this? I'm inspired by Cat King, bro. So let me just go on, man. You can USA में situation अलग है, boss. Like, USA में federal tax rate है 35%, which is for an earning of 3398 $100. Like, होता है, boss. Like, 2 crore and something above, like 3 crores, I think. Probably 3 crores का earning होता है, उसके बाद आता है 35% का tax. And UK में it's already starts with 40%, boss. Like, it's actually close to India. The problem with India is, like, we take health insurance, like, there are, like, funeral insurances. Like, people really go after, like, after my death, people should not suffer. The people whom I believe to have as a family should not suffer. India may like everywhere it's a problem. Like food is a problem, that is a problem, this is a problem. I'm not joking. Don't complain about the politicians that a politicians कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है. Just go do yourself, man. No, no, nobody cares. If you have $1 billion, you can spend 1 million, bribe it. I'm saying bribe, because your family needs to be taken care, right? You're not supposed to say that, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. These are people are like taking me out of business and things like that. You can't really say that. It's your family, you are supposed to take care, right? But the problem with these countries are like they run their country like a company. That's They are building it like an institution. They're not building it just like a country, like, hey, this is going to be a slum forever or something like that. This is going to be an institution. Like, probably if you can do the case studies of all these countries that I'm saying, of course यूके में आ गए लोग, लुट गए हमारा कोहिनूर, उसका पास है, क्या करोगे कोहिनूर लेके? Like, will it really solve all the problems? Like, if it can solve all the problems of India, get the Koinur back. I'm not saying don't get the Koinur back. If it really solves the problem, get it back, people. Like 50% tax after 150,000 euros, man. Like, क्या हो रहा है, boss? Like, seriously, there is a difference here. But these countries work in a different format. It's not like Indian people like, hey, I bribe for 10 rupees and I earn 100 rupees or something. These people earn thousands. Even if they bribe, they earn in thousand. Of course, these are the countries which are less in terms of corruption than India, so don't worry about it. So yeah, and India bhi itna bura nahi hai, boss. India bhi itna bura nahi hai. Like, I'm not bashing India, saying that, hey, my country is not going to be good or something, but country should go good, man. So that's where I'm doing all these case studies. And not country going good, I just want to build myself as a good professional, so that's why I'm doing this. So yeah, let's start it, people. उसका country का problem हम क्या करें? Like, oh yes, fine dude, my slides are here. So we did this. So the main guy who really plotted everything on GST is Asim Dasgupta. So during his tenure, everything as a planning happened. Like, it's not about 18% only. Like, it's also about needing to satisfy every sector. You won't believe there are people who are rich but still have BPL cards. Subsidiary कौन देगा, boss? हम ही देगा है ना? Like, seriously, हम ही देंगे, boss. Like, this is how much effective it is. So let me just say, there is money here and there is a tax here that you are going to pay. That means like every given point you are not adding value to the money, you're deprecating it. Like, you're adding this much GST. That means people start fearing after seeing that. Like, लोग in India, like, भगवान बड़े बनाते हैं, भगवान बनाते हैं, उसके बाद विसर्जन करते हैं. Like, GST, when it came in, people thought like, okay, my country is going to be like Singapore and things like that, but nothing happened. Like, what really happened is we forgot the valuation of money. We are not valuing the money that we are doing in. Somehow, when there was some taxes, like, it just used to just flow on, man. Corruption still happens. Don't worry. 2000 ka note aa gaye, 30 notes in an envelope. Finished. 60,000. What more do you need? Like, she can put it in anywhere, man. If something like, I can put it in, if I am a government employee, I can put it in my t-shirt and I can go in. Like, nobody will get to know that. So it doesn't matter. So learn to value your money, people. Learn to value your money. I'm not joking. Like, you're only adding value here. Like, you're just underestimating the value, like saying like, hey, you're buying this. No, just give me that 18%. So this is what is happening here. This is where you're forgetting to add the value to your money. And somehow at the end of the day, when you are supposed to pay taxes, people were making it more corporate. Like, people work like a corporate company there. Like, if you think of people like who have like more than a crore or something in their house now, like in terms of bank balance, probably they might have kept it in the name of some other guy. Like, anything can happen in India, man. GST doesn't add value here. Some guy told to me that hey, GST came in, India is going to be the next Singapore. It's never going to happen until and unless people change, not politicians change. Why should they change, man? Seriously, like उसका काम होता है वोट वोट कमाना और उसके बाद सीट पे बैठना और उसके बाद make some decision. I'll say you political job is the worst job of its entire life. I'm sitting here and saying add value. Politicians doesn't have that knowledge of doing anything, man. That's just here for at least I'm for 5 years. I'll have my poster or something as a photo there. So make sure that you don't underestimate the value of the money. You derive value from the money. So you're not deriving value from the money here. You are actually underestimating the value of the money here. Like I'm not saying it as any political party is doing this or doing that. I'm just saying the overview of what GST is all about. Probably you can write a research paper on this saying that hey, how is this happening? I've given you the use cases here. So we fail here. All right, the only thing that made an impact. Oh yeah, this is the only thing. The only thing that made an impact is like 38 crore, 38 lakh people who had really registered for the tax paying. Like 1.28 crores just came out and said, "Hey, I'm going to pay taxes from tomorrow," because GST was added, and GST tin was supposed to be there. That tin number was supposed to be there, and a lot of things, man. You know, clear tax ke liye, I was talking to a person who has a startup very recently. She told like it's a hectic process in India to start a business. So what I did was I paid 10,000 in order to start a business. That is, she has a startup now, dude. Like just by paying 10,000, somebody doing some work, you don't understand the value of building that business. So what you forget is where is this money, dude? What you forget is you forget to add the value of the money, and this is where we fail. This is where we desperately fail and say that hey, my country is not going to be anything good and all. So yes, so let's not complain about the country and the people more. Let's just go a little technical, like how to build an institution. So the cash flow dreams went down. Like people who used to buy gold at least for the sake of buying stopped buying it because 18% GST lagega, boss. Like even after that you have to pay some tax returns, property taxes and things like that. And India mein itna sari, like there are a lot of headaches like sar pe lagta hai, like seriously, like itna bari barkam taxes pay karna, like it's impossible, dude. Seriously, it's impossible to get all your things. If you just see something where we actually lost is like there is just an increase in the registration but decrease in the cash flow. So now the problem prevails saying that rich is rich, poor is poor. Because rich can at least save money, just expose it somewhere, like saying that, hey, I'm going to expose it in a Bitcoin. I'm going to put it in a Bitcoin and say that I'll become rich. Now they learned how to add value to a money that they had in stagnant. But it should never remain stagnant for a long run. It loses its value. And poor remain poor because like एक chocolate के लिए 18% tax भरना is a very big thing. Like if something like 2 rupees also increases, there are middle class people, man. They remain poor for poor. Like this is how we are not making an impact, people. Like make some impact, make a lot of cash flows. Cash flows is king. If you keep it stagnant, it's going to be horrible. So let me just go on with the next slide. Let me point something. Australia is 10% better than us. You know, we are celebrating all these days saying that July 1st, 2018 is a GST day in India. You know, this bill of GST was passed in Rajya Sabha, then went to Lok Sabha, and then it became a lot of an impactful journey. So far, when you think of like, let's make some point on like GST in Australia is like 10%, then why are we still in the status of like developing country? Because we are not running our country as a company, we are not running our country as an institution. It's not politicians fault, it's our fault, man. You know, like when you just see somewhere, you spit on the ground, right? But a soldier fights for the same ground that you're spitting. ये बोलता है मेरी भारत महान, and you spit on the same ground, dude. Like this makes a lot of difference. Like your attitude towards money makes a difference. Your attitude towards country makes a lot of difference. So this is where our we have a pitfall and say that hey, we are still a developing country. Cash flow is king. Before doing a cash flow, your mindset is your king. Keep it in your mind. So yeah, let's just move on. So these are the kinds of GSTs that we have. There are some intermediate, international, and all these like service. All the sectors have different types of GSTs. You can go to internet and get it, because I'm not an internet here. Like I have very limited time to give some gyan out of the MBA. So these are the different types of GSTs, dude. You need to understand what are these GSTs and different sectors. I'll do a complete video on this. Don't worry on that. So I'll do a complete video on this. So let me point out to something. Ho gaye. So rich is rich, poor is poor. Done. Asim Dasgupta is done. Like where am I going faulty? Oh yes, I got it. So let me just come to the brightest point of cash flows. Your operations are king, my friend. More you spend, more you try to add value to your machine or the money that you have, it brings you value. Even many companies have faulty income statements. Statements, eh? Not stat or something. Stat bhi ho sakta hai. Like these are the companies which you really want to see, like, hey, this company is going rich. Companies like Amazon, Google sometimes have these negative cash flows and CFO models and things like that. Chief Financial Officer, nahi, cash flow operations. So this is where we are making a lot of impact, boss. Operations is the king. More you spend money, more you hire people, more people get employed, more taxes can also be paid, more products can be sold, more things can happen, more innovations can be laid on as a foundation, more need आवश्यकता ही boss. It brings that value for invention. Like you can have $1 billion idea, but without operations and execution it has no value, folks. So this is where GST atate hai. Like it doesn't get value to the money. So I know it's a very very short introduction. Don't worry, I'll do a complete series on what GSTs and what all the things are. But get to know what's the main idea behind the cash flow, people. So okay, now let's just go back. So revenue and the expenses are the key. As I told, operations, the more you spend, more you hire, more you deploy, more you conquer the market, more you understand the market, more you understand the reason to add a value to the money that you have spent, more you understand the reason to make some changes in your business. So revenue and expenses will also increase. I'll say you one thing. For any company, if there is an increase in the cash flow, there is an increase in the way in which the profitability can be seen. Profitability can be seen. But decreasing cash flows have actually witnessed a decrease in the profitability. You can't keep the money stagnant. And you know what? The problem with most of the people is that we are forgetting that we need to spend money on our business. Like like there can be an hotel person who can say that hey, I'm earning close to around 10,000 per day, it's enough for me. But it's not that of a matter, man. Because more you try to derive value, more you have to spend, more you have to save. I'm not saying in terms of making it more stagnant over the course of time. It will lose its value. You have to know where to save, you have to know where to put it, we have to know where to get it. This is where we people need to make some changes. So more the CFO, more the big money is. So big money comes with big expenses, people. You need to earn it. Like I'll say you what, you know I didn't have anything. I just hopped in for tennis court and saying that hey, I'm going to be a tennis champ or something. But I didn't pay fees. It used to make me so irritated when my father used to say, I'll not pay the fees or things like that. But he wants me to become a tennis champ over the course of time. Boss, dedication to karna hi karna hai. I'm not joking. You need to spend money. You need to spend money in order to get that right education. You need to spend money in order to grow yourself. You need to spend your money in order to build yourself as a new package of gyan and energy. Like you need lot of gyan and you need lot of energy. That means you also need to hire people with the same quality of the gyan and the quantity of the energy that they still have. You can't be like, I'll hire all the 60 plus people and I'll build $1 billion startup. It's not going to work. You need fresh energy and fresh minds. And fresh energy and fresh minds are required in my country also. Nothing to say apart from that. So let me just go on to my next slide. Where did I go wrong? So the big player in the cash flow is the free cash flow, people. Like ash karna is the meaning of it. Like you can't really go on and say that, hey, I'm going to spend this amount of money on nothing. You need to spend something. Like money is spent by different companies on paying dividends or buying payback stacks. Like stocks are required. Like you can't have a CEO with like 0.0001% stock in your company. He needs to have a stock. Sometimes you need to add value to the people in order to get the value to yourself. So that's where communities like tech communities like Azure developers community and things like that works up and says that, hey, you need to learn to add community value. So this is where they come. So free cash flows are something like, hey, I have lot and lot of money now. So what to do? Ash karna uske saath. No, I'm going to spend on something which is more relevant. So country is not doing free cash flows. Country is not doing an education of what is mutual funds, what is bonds, what is stocks. Nothing, dude. There are only 30% of like all educated population that, according to some of the statistics, have said that like they're inside the stock market. They have analyzed the value of the stocks. We have not yet analyzed it. We have not yet gone to the stage of it. People, I'm not joking. If we don't give that chance to get ourselves educated in terms of doing something new with the same old money that I have now, it's not going to add any value to you. It's not going to add anything as a purpose to you. You need to have purpose. You need to spend money. This is what is happening with a lot of middle class people. Like it has happened in my own family, man. But like I'm here for educating. Like I'm using YouTube, the free resources, the free gyan which is there. Like gold pada hua hai boss internet mein. Like just go and spend it. Just go and conquer it, man. This is what cash flow is all about. So GST came in, got you a lot of fear of spending money, cash flows decrease, and no value to the money. So I am saying uda do boss, like on very good things, not on like very bad things. Like okay, I'm going to drink Irish whiskey of like $20 a bottle or something. I'm saying invest on yourself, invest on educating yourself. Go to a tuition center, like khol do boss, like acha kasi kuch, like if you can really afford it. If you are not like me as a student, although like nobody is going to give a damn about like who is going to be your next boss. Like you can be your own boss. You can start to become great. You don't have to be a great to become star. Like thanks to all the gyan that Vivek Bindra sir gives to me over the course of time, I have a lot of people named Vivek, not from my college, don't worry. Like I don't know much of them. Like I've never talked to them. But Vivek Bindra sir and Vivek Sridhar sir are some of the people who have really added value to me in life. Like they are the people who have given me dreams. They are the people who have given me some knowledge over the course of time. I enjoy it and I just do it. So I just love to spread knowledge. That's it. So cash flow is king, my friend. So spend as much as money as you can on some good things. So hope this thing really gives you some insights on what cash flows and GST is more effective in terms of the country and how to run your country as a company, man. It need not have to start from a politician, it can start from you. So do start it. Hey folks, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed it, like talk do, subscribe karo, और उसके बाद follow me on LinkedIn if possible. We can spread some gyan. So yeah,